Today, we're going to play a bit of catch up. Let's get it. Welcome to the Cayman's Island podcast, where we talk all things San Francisco 49ers. And in today's show, we have a lot that I want to discuss, a lot to go over. Ultimately, going to give you guys a preview of round 2 of the Rams versus 49ers. It's going to be a 4:25 Eastern start, 1:25 p.m. Pacific start at Levi's Stadium. And we're going to jump into that in just a bit. First and foremost, guys, apologies that I did not get to post a video over our 34-24 win over the New York Giants last week. The wife and I were on vacation in Orlando, Florida at Universal Studios and Epic Universe. Super good park, man. If you guys get an opportunity to go, man, there's some state-of-the-art technology when it comes to rides and entertainment there, man. That's completely on another level. Those guys did an outstanding job putting that new park together, man. Had a very blessed time there with the wife. Looking forward to going back when we get an opportunity. Again, the win against the Giants, it was a big win. It went exactly according to what I thought it was going to be. I thought the Niners would have that game in hand and the Giants would be playing catch up the whole game. That's exactly what happened. Christian McCaffrey was Christian McCaffrey. Brian Robinson got some big carries there. Mac and cheese, man. Big Mac was able to do his thing. And we were able to get a win. Finally, a stress-free victory. However, losing Mykel Williams for the season, man, that's unfortunate. That hurts. I thought the kid was making some great strides, doing some really good things. And thoughts and prayers go out to him, his family during that recovery. Really hopeful that he can get back maybe next year for some of the off-season program, because he's got some things as far as the pass rush that he can definitely grow in certain areas. And I'm looking forward to his growth, and hopefully he can return, be even better than he was when he went down at MetLife, man, and that crazy field out there. They need to do something about that emergently. Another item I wanted to bring up just briefly is the whole trade deadline piece. I know that a lot of 49ers fans right now are pretty upset that the Niners didn't pull off a key move, a big-time move, perhaps even a few additional acquisitions, knowing the amount of injuries that we have sustained over these past several weeks of this season. But guys, I have to be honest, I'm okay with this. I really am. Look, I was on the edge of my seat just like every other 49ers fan, hoping I'd see something break off ESPN, an update, rumor mill, something like that the Niners would ultimately make a trade, man, make a big splash. And look, that's the fan in all of us, right? If you are a 49ers fan, of course you want to see a Trey Hendrickson. When you find out that Quinnen Williams was traded to the Cowboys, it's, man, if we could have got that player, that would have just been that missing piece and would have gotten the Niners over the top. Listen, faithful, I'm a fan just like you guys are. I've been a 49ers fan decades, so I know exactly how you guys feel, and I understand the hurt. But the reality is, guys, we have to keep our draft capital, and we need to be able to get some youth injected into this team. And if you can see, we've been drafting well, and we've got some playmakers with youth now. And if we can continue to add to that's going to be a recipe for success. I don't see at all any type of reason to throw away a second-round pick, first-round pick for any type of rental or a player, or giving away important draft capital for a couple of Band-Aids that might get us one playoff win if we can get there. Guys, the reality of the situation is that the Niners are just too hurt. And not one piece was going to do it. Not two pieces were going to do it, right? I think it's time that we get Nick Martin out there. I think we need to roll with what we have. I know that Bryce Huff is going to be available in this Rams game. And him and Sam Okwonu, hopefully with a couple of schemes that Robert Saleh can put together, we can get enough sustained pressure I'm not even talking about the Rams game. I'm talking about enough pressure throughout the season where we can make the playoffs. And when you make that dance, anything can happen. But the reality of the situation is, guys, are the 49ers with this team, with Trey Hendrickson, would they beat the Detroit Lions? This 49ers football team with Quinnen Williams, would they beat a Philadelphia Eagles? If the Philadelphia Eagles decided to do the tush push every single play, would the Niners even end the game with enough healthy players to field a full football team? It's just one of those years, guys, that I feel like we're playing with house money at this point. The fact that we're 6-3 and we're pulling out some of these close wins, whereas last year we lost all these games, has been extremely exciting and extremely entertaining. And I look forward to hopefully pulling out a few more of these wins and making the playoffs. But am I optimistic the Niners are going to go to the Super Bowl and win? If you guys are seeing what I'm saying, I don't think that's the case. And I know that's not super popular for a 49ers podcast, but I have to keep it 100, as the kids would say. But yeah, I'm not going to stay too much longer on the whole trade deadline that came and left. The 49ers did make a few moves, Keon White being one of them, Cleveland Farrell being another. We saw Cleveland have a big sack against Jackson Dart in the very game that we won. So perhaps we're going to be okay. Perhaps not. But unfortunately, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, they're not walking through that door until next season. Like I said, guys, faithful, sit back, man. Enjoy the ride. We're playing with house money, in my opinion. We probably should have a worse off record than we already do. Let's just see what we can do. Let's see if we can get hot and make some noise come the postseason. But step one is getting there, right? So let's go ahead and talk about this game that's coming up on tomorrow. Now, my overall thoughts, guys, is that this is going to be the game where you really see just how injured I feel like the 49ers are when it comes to depth pieces. I know that the 49ers were able to, for all intents and purposes, shock the world. No one that I know of, no analyst, no content creator that I follow, had the Niners coming up winning that first game against the Rams. This content creator did not think that the 49ers were going to pull off a victory against the Rams. If you recall, the first time around, the 49ers jumped out on them really quick. We got a very big lead up front, and slowly but surely, here come the Rams. I think that this time around, guys, that the Rams are going to be much more prepared. They're not going to play around whatsoever, and they're going to come out here to prove a point, to show just how much they are the class of the division, and essentially just how lucky the 49ers were in the first game. Now, I'll say this, and I've seen a lot. I think the 49ers are like 5.5-point underdogs. I do feel like the Rams are going to win this game. I feel like they're actually going to beat us by a touchdown. With that said, these interdivisional games, especially when it comes to Kyle Shanahan in the regular season against Sean McVay, it really is a coin toss, just like the first game. I'm optimistic that anything can happen. Unfortunately, for this particular season, it's who's going to get hurt in this game for the 49ers. I said it last week. We lost Mykel Williams, and I don't believe in luck or jinxes or anything like that. It's just when you continue to get players in starting roles that aren't used to playing that many snaps, that makes them more susceptible to injury. So let's look at this. Let's look at this first game and maybe do a comparison to see how exactly the 49ers could pull off another victory at home against the Los Angeles Rams. So in the first contest, Mac and Cheese, Big Mac Jones, went 33 of 49 for 342 yards, 2 touchdowns. My man KB, Kendrick Bourne, had a career game, 10 catches, 142 yards. And the Niners won the game in overtime. I want you to think about this. Matthew Stafford in the last contest had 389 total yards and 3 touchdowns. Where the game was won and lost is in a couple of critical moments. Okay? Even with all of that, even with Matthew Stafford having nearly 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, it came down to situational football in the most important moments, right? Alfred Collins punching out the football on that goal line stand and knocking the ball out at the 1 yard line. If you're a luck person, which I'm not, because that was an amazing play, but that was very fortunate. It was very fortunate that the game went into overtime and then the 4th and 1 stand. That was beautiful, right? So you look at two critical moments in the game, and the Niners made the necessary plays to win that game. But you think about how everything was going at the beginning of that game in the 49ers' favor, and it still came down to overtime. This is my belief. The Rams aren't going to come in here messing around this game. I think in order for the 49ers to win this game, it's going to come down to time of possession and scoring in the red zone. In order for the Niners to win this game, all of a sudden a light bulb is going to have to go off when the Niners enter the red zone and score touchdowns and not kick Eddie Pinheiro field goals. That's the bottom line. Because here it is, guys. We're not stopping the Los Angeles Rams. I think Matt Stafford is going to have 300 yards passing. I think Puka Nacua is going to have 100 receiving yards. I think they're going to be able to run the ball effectively. And it's going to be very similar to last game. It's going to be, are the 49ers going to be able to execute in the red zone? Are we going to be able to mix some things up? We are definitely going to need another 139 total yards from scrimmage. CMC had 57 rushing yards, and I think it was 82 receiving yards, I think, in the first game against the Rams. We're going to need more of that. In fact, I think we're going to need much more yards per carry than CMC is averaging. I'm hopeful that our line can continue picking it up. I'm very thankful and happy from what I've seen with our offensive line. I'm not certain if Ben Bartch is going to be able to get out there. I'm not really quite certain if Jake Brendel is going to be back out there at center. For all intents and purposes, I know he practiced. He probably will. But what is that rotation going to look like up front? Guys, the Rams have a good defense. They play no games when it comes to stopping the run. So I think it's going to be a big-time chess match between the front seven of the Rams and our run scheme against them. Regardless, I think we're going to have to try to run the ball similarly to the way we did it last game. Look, we weren't putting out any world-beating runs the first time around, but we stuck with the run game no matter what, and it was close toward the end. That's going to be the Niners' hope in this one, is that we can control the ball as best we can, have a bend but do not break strategy on defense, and this can be another Eddie Pinheiro, big money De Niro field goal game. I really do believe that way. I really do believe it. However, when I look at the injuries, when I look at how the Rams have been rolling, what they've been able to do to the teams that they've played, I really do feel like they win this game by a touchdown. I know that's not popular. That's not what any 49er fan wants to hear. I would love to sit up here on this microphone and on this camera and tell you guys, Niners by 14. Guys, that's just not the reality. If roles were reversed, if it were the Niners that were rolling and had no injuries and were super healthy, and it was the Rams with a bunch of injuries, guys, these division games, man, these division games are no joke. You look at how good the Seahawks have been playing, and we beat them in Seattle the first game of the season. And I know that's a long time past. Guys, the NFC West is legit. Really good teams over here. I'm looking forward to the next time the Seahawks and the Rams play one another. This is a very good division, and both of those teams, for all intents and purposes, man, are healthier than the 49ers. Can the Niners win this game? Absolutely. Would it be super shocking if the Niners pulled out another last-second field goal win in overtime? No, it wouldn't be surprising at all. If you've been a 49er fan and watched this division over the last 5 to 10 seasons, man, you know exactly what it's like, how even other divisions, how closely these divisional games are between these teams. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I feel again like we're playing with house money. If we were to pull out this game against the Rams, man, we would absolutely be in the driver's seat. We do not play the Seahawks again until, I believe it's week 18, the last week of the season. I'm pretty confident that's when we're going to wear our rivalries jerseys. Looking forward to seeing that for sure. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. What are your score predictions in this one? I have this one 27-20 bad guys. I have the Rams winning this game by a touchdown. Maybe it's just me when I look at everything that the Rams are working with, what they've been able to do, and just how injured, man, the Niners are. I do feel like there's going to be a couple of those scenarios again in this game where there's going to be a big situational stop. Can the Niners repeat this again and come up with those couple of situational stops when it is most needed? Do you feel like we're going to come out of this game with yet another injury? I almost want to ask any takers on who you guys think this might actually be. But yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments. What are your score predictions? Where do you think the Niners fall with scores for this particular game? As always, if you like what you saw today, please remember to like and subscribe because it definitely helps the channel out. As always, guys, take care and be blessed.